Hello guys, and let's discuss some updates from the front lines in Russia. And no, I haven't made a mistake. There are lots of Russian regions that have already turned into front lines, and hopefully sometime soon Kremlin will become the epicenter of this war. And today it was really loud in Krasnodar region with a number of oil refineries, a military airfield targeted, but you might have been tired of this typical object that Ukrainian armed forces so persistently destroyed. So today on this menu, we also have a huge storage of Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs responsible for the militia, which is police. And all of that was set on fire in Rostov. So let me tell you more about this effective strategy of turning Russia from metaphorical hell into literal, with lots of fires and super hot temperatures around. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. If I were a Russian propagandist, I would describe this special event on a military storage in Rostov region as, you know, Russian militiamen are heavy smokers, and perhaps of this very stressful work that they experience protecting Russia from NATO, they smoked a lot, and this caused severe explosions and fire on the territory of almost 1,000 square meters. Very heavy smoke and lots of really evil things destroyed, because once again, unfortunately, Russia has turned all of these frontline regions into platform for attacks in Ukraine, and of course they keep lots of weapons, lots of ammunition close to the front lines. And actually, in general, Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs is bad. I don't know if there are any good Russian ministries in general, but you know that apart from being super criminal, Russia is also a country of these special internal services like police, like FSB, and they actually service criminal gangs. And in Ukraine, when we had the reform and we actually renamed our police into police, it was also militia since the times of the Soviet Union. Many things have changed, and now on the streets of Ukraine, when people see policemen, policewomen, they typically want to approach, they want to ask a question, they feel more comfortable in the presence of these people. But back in Soviet times, and of course in Russia, people were afraid of militiamen because typically even if you turn to them with a problem, you would get a fine or something else, because they were actually protecting the criminals, and now they are protecting Putin's regime, because everything is super interconnected. So anyway, this storage was huge. Of course, it perhaps has important elements and materials, but not anymore. Once again, because someone has smoked. And also because Russian people are not media literate and they share these videos like crazy. So literally you don't need to wait for, I don't know, any intelligence to work on the field. They will provide all that you want and all that you need. Of course, with lots of very toxic and very heavy for your ears Russian comments. Another thing that you can clearly recognize as a typical Russian tradition. I know people can use bad words, but not to that extent. Because literally, I often listen to these recordings of explosions on their military objects with sound off, because the way they construct this bad language phrases is not okay for my brain at all. And remember to subscribe, because here we don't use bad language, we only observe how Russia destroys itself. So this is the easiest way to see Russia defeated and also to support Ukraine and help us spread more information about our fight and resilience. And today, Ukrainian drones have also targeted, and I like this tradition. I hope you're not getting bored with that, because we will continue. So another oil refinery destroyed in Krasnodar region, and also an Airfield was on fire in Krasnodar region in YEYSK. This is popular among Ukrainian drones, Russian military airfield, because they continuously use it. It has a strategic position. They cannot substitute it with something. They keep using it, and we keep destroying aircraft that stand on it, and also some infrastructure maintenance facilities. Also, I think there will be more of Russian airfields targeted in future, as it seems that US is lifting the ban to target any Russian military objects, not only around Kharkiv region, but in other regions that are close to the border with Ukraine, close to the front lines, and that threaten the security of Ukraine. Honestly, all of Russia threatens the security of Ukraine, and not only Ukraine, because I believe all sane people, especially after Putin's visit to the North Korea, realize it's not about territories, it's not about Ukraine, it's about the fight between the democratic world and the authoritarian crazy world. That's why it's so important to remain united. Because you've seen how strongly Putin hugged Kim. That's the way we should do, but in our normal, sane part of the world. And also, I been following very attentively the choice on the new Secretary General for NATO. And let me know, what do you think about Mr. Rutte? Here in Ukraine, we feel he's going to continue the support of our country, and he was actually one of the first EU leaders to support F-16s for Ukraine. So hopefully this change will not lead to the change in NATO's active support of Ukraine. We will see that all in Washington summit. Of course, every Ukrainian would dream to be accepted there, or at least to be given a promise. I am being realistic, think nothing will happen that way, but at this moment it's important to receive your trainings, to receive the supplies, and I'm sure that after the victory, Ukraine will join NATO. And we'll be able to share lots of this very valuable experience. We did not choose to get this experience, but now after we have it, it's kind of very important, because more and more of these authoritarian regimes will try to threaten the world once again if we're not decisive enough. And I'm sure a lot of very important aspects we will discuss tomorrow in the live, but not on my channel, but on the channel of my favorite strongest voice for Ukraine, Jake Bro. I know many of you follow him. I know many of you have joined our community after interviews that I had with Jake. I value that. But even more, I value Jake's constant support. And oh my God, $1 million of NAFO trucks and other important things to back up Ukrainian army. This is amazing. And tomorrow we are going to have a live there with some other really good people, but I don't want to steal the thunder and give this information, so you can check it on Jake's channel. And then on Sunday, I will be happy to discuss some more updates in our live. So remember, this will be on Sunday, 9 p.m. Join me on Instagram, X, Threads, and also we have a beautiful Discord community, and we have a beautiful merch shop with lots of items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. And yes, there are t-shirts with drones, with Ukrainian cultural heritage objects, and with the flags of our strongest supporters. And also, I'm very grateful to those who have become members of the channel, to my patrons, and all the beautiful people who buy me coffees, because you help me film more and write more. And I feel like the book is becoming real, at least like 20,000 words plus. And I plan it to be 40,000 words, so this is equator. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Rutte as the next General Secretary of NATO? And also, please always offer what other things you would like to know about Ukraine as we continue observing how the front lines move to Russia, where they actually belong. Thank you once again for all of your support and understanding, and all the conversations that you hold in your countries to make Ukraine visible and to make your politicians stay strong fighting the Russian bully. Slava Ukraini!